Dre, rapid fire, business, life, real estate questions. Here we go. Derrick, you go first. Ask me a question.
All right, Dre, what's your favorite thing about location freedom, man? Because since I met you, you've been always doing online business, and I always love that, man. What's your favorite thing about it?
It becomes addictive when you can make the same amount of money or more being on the beach with a lovely woman, eating salmon and pineapple juice, drinking pineapple juice and
Man.
mango juice. It's hard to come back from that. I don't need to be the richest person financially in the world. I don't really even think about that. But I do think about, man, if I can just go here on a whim and be able to rock out with that with my laptop, phone, and computer and camera and be able to make great money, let's say $300,000 a day, whatever, I feel like I've won in life. For me, that's a great question, Derek. We have to know what's a win for us in life. Your win might not be
Mm,
mine, might not be yours, but sometimes we're so stuck on what she thinks of winning. We say that we have to hit that to get to there. No, no. Location, freedom, stock, accounts. I'm ready to rock out, man. Nothing like it. I'll ask you. With rentals, do you wish you were more aggressive with buying properties over the past 5 years? Yes, yay or nay?
definitely. I'm always you kind of it's like you said, it's addictive to have property, but I feel like you got to buy them the right way because I have friends and I know people that have 10, 20, 30 properties and they're not making as much as they can because they over leverage. They bought so much, they refinance, they kept refinancing. They're basically their payment is so high they have to rent these properties for so much. And I didn't want to do it like that. I wanted us to buy our properties comfortably. Of course, I wish I would have bought more, but I'm glad that I have what I have because the 7 units that we have, they make us a nice piece of cheese. We're comfortable and we can always buy more, but we're not over leveraged. I definitely want people, at least for me, I never want to be over leveraged like that. I don't want to have 30 properties, just say I got 30 properties when I can do the same with seven, 10, and make more money, less headache. And I'm not buying for that for to say I got 30 or 20.
I dig it.
But
I dig it. All right. What's next?
for you, what's life like in Atlanta, man? Business. I love Atlanta. I always want to know how's business, how's life down there. I know you got location freedom, but you chose Atlanta. How's life down there? How's business down there?
Great question. Living in Atlanta. I like Atlanta. I like Atlanta a lot because it has everything besides the beach. But it has lakes.
That's
It
true.
actually has very nice lakes. Atlanta has everything besides the beach. If you want suburban living, it's there. You want city living there. You want a club is there. You want a lounge, it's there. And everything else in between. Everything is here. People are nice. Run clubs are here. Shout out to my run club. It's all here. It's all here. Kind people. Nightlife is expensive. If you have a social bug in you, it's pricey. Same compared as New York. But cost of living is still actually cheaper. Even a house, even now, even the prices have gone up a lot. It's still you can get a fly crib on a lake for in the five sixes. That would be really tough in Lower Westchester, where I was from in New York. So overall, it's a win. I rate it high on the scale. I see people say sometimes I don't know if you see the dirt. People call it the hookah and wings, and they kind of show a certain side of it, and that's there. But I think if you have a good social life, if you know how to make friends and you know how to socialize with people, you'll figure out your niche and your crowd. But some people just don't leave the damn house. You kind of got to leave the house to find who you rock with. So yeah, high on the list.
Feel you on that.
Question for you: what would make you sell your real estate portfolio, if anything?
Uh, I guess the right deal on like a bigger multi-family, maybe like one of those big apartment complexes. Like if somebody offered us like 10 million or some crazy number and we can just put that money in because we're always going to have real estate. So I wouldn't take a bunch of money just to have a bunch of money. It has to be for me to be able to put that in another property or something like that. But I would sell all of our units just to buy a big apartment complex so that they all could be in one place, have one property manager, one plumber, and just everything is just one and done. So that's the only way I would sell to the properties, but my plan is for us to leave them for our daughter and for her daughter, her son, and just keep it in the family so that nobody has to start over. We always have income in the family, and they can build on that, and we're gonna be the pioneers of that for the family.
I dig it.
So my question for you is, what's next, the big dog, man? You've been doing real estate. I mean, you've been doing notary and you online stuff. So what's next, man? I know you got a bunch of stuff you probably got going on. So what's the next move? If you
Great question.
if you're ready to share.
Great question. I don't have a solid plan on what's next, which is probably the first time in my life I haven't had one. I don't know exactly what is next, but I know it's time for some pivoting. I used to always try to force myself to know and to have an answer and to have a big, extravagant answer. I do like that I'm doing more media now, more social media platforms with interviews like these, bringing people in, helping people advertise on my platforms. That's one. Something I was doing, but I'm doing that mainly now as a main focal point. So I feel that I'm gonna help them build a brand and bring brand awareness and to help people project their voice who might not be doing that on their own per se. So I am enjoying doing that more. But the big grandioso 10, 20 million, $100 million thing, I don't know it, but I am looking for it. So I will let you and the audience know once I have
Okay, that's fair.
it. Married life compared to single life, what stands out the most?
For married life, I'll say the security. I feel like I don't know if you see that. I see a lot of people talk bad about marriage or just say, I see a lot of divorce stuff on Instagram, YouTube, and stuff like that. But if it's done right with the right person, it's a beautiful thing. It allows you to have that security. You're able to do so much because you're not worried about what's going on over here and what's over there, and you don't have to worry about this person that you locked in. You got your partner. Y'all can build. She's helping you. Like my wife helps me so many ways and does so many things that things I don't even think about that she's doing. So you got somebody watching your back, front, side, everywhere. So I feel like with married life, that what sticks out the most to me is just the security and just being able to build. Of course, single life, you have that freedom, and of course, you have fun. But I think ultimately, everybody wants to be with somebody, at some point. So that's kind of my take on it. But
All right.
I'll shoot
I
that
dig
back
it.
at you as far as like, what do you think on those subject on that subject?
So I'm pro relationship. I've always been pro relationship. I do think so. I'm pro relationship, but I'm anti forcing a relationship just to have one.
Gotcha.
That makes sense?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. So as far as being married on paper again, I probably wouldn't do that. So I wouldn't get a marriage license. Now I'm not anti, not that other people don't do it. I probably wouldn't go that route. Me and my woman will work out an arrangement, and they call it a contract wedding. So I would go that route per se next time. Just personal stance. I don't think I need the sentimental part of the marriage license, which I think a lot of it is sentimental. So yes, but I am pro relationship. And I think actually, honestly, most people live a better life in a relationship. And I think it's hard for some people to admit. I think some people actually,
Yeah,
Derek, need a relationship to function at a high level. Some
I
people
feel you on
need it.
that.
And they might not want to admit it. They might feel embarrassed. But you know me, Derek, I'm big on self-awareness. If people know what they need, life could be a lot easier with that. So, yeah, that's my take. All right, rapid fire over. Derek, how can people follow you?
Follow me on Instagram at brother underscore Derrick underscore coaches, or you can follow me on YouTube, Derrick Elford, and yeah, so they can tap in there.
Right.
My two main
Information
platforms.
below to follow Brother Derek. Peace, day.
All right, peace, bro.